The Sisters Grimm podcast is intended for mature audiences only. Please listen at your own discretion. Tiptoe through the window.
The blackest eyes, the devil's eyes.
If it doesn't fit, you must acquit.
The most notorious serial killer in the nation, the Night Stalker.
The Boston Strangler.
The Son of Sam. The infamous Zodiac Killer.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
Get away from her, you bitch!
Welcome to the Sisters Grimm podcast.
How'd you do this? Show you.
Welcome to this week's episode of the Sisters Grimm podcast. My name's Morgan.
And I'm Holly.
And my hands smell.
Yeah, we found some...
We talked about it on one episode that we found like a whole bag of old...
Bath and Body Works.
Bath and Body Works hand sanitizers from our dear grandmother who passed. And I put two different ones on my hand and it smells so bad. But now I'm going to try this I'm hoping just alcohol, no smell one. So
yeah,
this is
she had
three different hand sanitizers I've put on my hand. Oh, this one seems great.
Is that one normal?
Yep.
Does that one have at least, I think it's 72%?
She's thick.
So on the topic of hand sanitizers, we went to
that helps so much.
a nursery.
Oh my God, that helps so much.
We went to a tree nursery, or just a nursery, today, and their hand sanitizer smelled like straight up tequila.
And it was we all did it, and we were all like, wait, what is that?
What?
And we all had masks on, too, so it was strong smelling.
Yeah. And, it was intense. So, today's episode is about TV horror shows.
Yeah.
Because horror ain't just in the movies.
Girls.
Baby. And it's actually been going on for, ever. And it was...
It was going on for, ever.
It's been since there's been TV, basically. But it's a way for kids and younger people to experience horror and see horror because they're not old enough to go. Kind of like how you used to love shit on the Sci-Fi Channel. That's
and it's also a little more tame too.
Yeah,
especially stuff. Maybe not stuff that's on Netflix and
but
other things.
The older things. So the very first TV horror show that I found was called The Vampira Show.
Yes.
Which is super cool because it's a woman. And her name is...
before Vampira herself.
You mean Elvira?
Right.
Yeah, it was very before her. This woman, I think she was Danish. Her name was Mela Surianami.
Love it.
I don't know. She was dope. She had the most epic, and I mean this in a great way, forehead.
Okay.
It was just
was it perfectly 4 fingers?
It was perfectly 7, but
wow.
it worked for her.
Okay.
It worked for her.
Love that.
She had a very, vampiric look to her.
Okay.
And it was basically...
Was she scary or was it kind of comedy-ish? I Dream of Jeannie?
You know what? I couldn't really tell. Because the first episode I watched of it, she just slowly walks up to the camera and then just screams. But a lot of these old shows are actually, they would have a host, and then the host would introduce sometimes feature-length films, and then sometimes, I guess just
well, because Creep Show, I would consider that more of a TV movie, not a television series.
No, but the Vampira Show was like that. It was anthological.
Oh, cool.
Anthological, yeah, that sounds
that
right.
Works.
And then everyone probably, mostly if you're a horror fan, have heard of this. It came out in 1955, and it was Alfred Hitchcock Presents.
Oh yeah,
that iconic one where you see his silhouette of his big old belly.
Yeah, he was a big old cutie.
And those weren't his movies. I think sometimes he would show his classic
movies. I'm sure
movies.
he probably directed a few of them.
Oh, I'm pretty sure he did all of them.
Oh.
But they weren't Birds or North by Northwest or anything. They were just little movies. And then we get to 1959 with everyone's favorite, The Twilight Zone.
Yes.
These episodes are only 21 minutes long. They're pretty sure.
They're ragers.
They're ragers. So it was hosted by Rod Serling. And, you got your classic episodes where they parody so much stuff from the Twilight Zone episodes.
Yeah.
Like the guy who sees the gremlin on the plane wing, and whenever he goes to show somebody, it's not there. And the person who gets surgery and they wake up and, like, they have a pig face because everyone is an alien with a pig face.
Whoa, I've never really watched
never
the Twilight
heard of that
Zone.
one?
No.
Yeah, I watched some crazy ones. And then there's also one called To Serve a Man, and it's about a bunch of aliens, and they have this book, and they're trying to, like, decipher what it says, and it's called To Serve Man, and they're, like, doing all this nice stuff for us, and they say that they're going to solve world hunger, and then you find out that To Serve Mankind is actually a cookbook, and they're just taking all of them up to space to eat them, and so that's going to help with food. It was a little creepy. I'm not gonna lie, it was a little creepy. I also watched an episode that kind of reminded me, or that I thought would remind me of Get Out, which is cool because Jordan Peele made the remake of the show. I don't know if it's started yet, but
I don't know either.
They also had an episode I thought was weird called "I Sing the Body Electric," which is a Lana Del Rey song.
Well, that's her song is a remake of an old song.
Oh, that's not okay. Well, what do I know? And then there's also this crazy one apparently called The Living Doll, and it's like this doll attacks the family, and it's crazy because the mom's name is Annabelle. I thought that was weird. So then
I wonder when the real Annabelle thing happened. Totally going off, I think it was the 70s.
They seem to be wearing those kind of clothes.
Because it's based on a real thing that happened.
It's based on a Raggedy Ann doll.
I know, which is horrifying because there's a
those are
huge
problematic.
Raggedy Ann doll. Raggedy Ann dolls are?
Yeah, I was reading about them. They're problematic. Everything's problematic if you look back to it.
Why?
I think I will Google it. Everyone Google it on your own. So next we got the year 1964, and we got the Addams Family and the Munsters. Two creepy families.
And honestly, I think something that I used to get confused with each other.
Oh, definitely. 100%. Maybe, I think that the Addams Family has a more distinction because they had later on they had the cartoon show, and they also had
Addams Family
movie and Addams Family values.
Yeah, Addams Family is bigger, and probably more people know of it than
because
the Munsters.
Christina Ricci as Wednesday is iconic.
But also the mom and dad in those movies too iconic. I don't know the actors.
But between the TV shows, these two, the Munsters slaps way harder.
Yeah, that was the one that we used to watch more.
Yes, and there was
when we were younger.
something in the basement, and so the dad is Frankenstein's monster.
Yeah,
the mom is a vampire. Mm-hmm.
It's a
dad,
real well-rounded cast.
Grandfather and son are also vampires,
which makes sense.
And their cousin is normal.
Nice.
She's just regular.
She's human.
But I just remember the little boy Eddie used to be like, "Grandpa, don't turn into a bat again." And he had the craziest widow's peak.
Yes. Oh my gosh, widow's peaks.
Widow's peak. So like I said, there was a bunch of these shows that were just hosted, or shows where it was a person hosting, and they would be like, "And this movie's next." And locally we have Svengoolie, which is this dude, and he does little funny bits and stuff in between mainstream scary movies and kind of old cult classics, and he does sci-fi-ish stuff, and he originated in Chicago.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and is also, but I think he's branched out since the early days.
Right, because he got popular.
So, in the 80s, we had a batch of some weird horror movie remakes at TV shows.
Yes, which they still do.
Yes, they do, and they're better now because 1987, Friday the 13th, the TV show.
No,
it is nothing at all like the show.
Yeah, no, people were really mad about that because it's like,
Well, I was reading that it was originally called The 13th Hour, but the people who made the show, like, deliberately changed it to Friday the 13th because it would get more notoriety.
Totally. I mean, that's smart, but it's also, like, petty.
It's stupid. It's about, like, a fucking antique store, and every episode is, like, something else creepy at the antique store.
Wait, is this the same time that the Freddy show happened?
Yeah, Morgan. That
Oh
came out
my
in
gosh.
1988.
That show used to run, like, late at night to the point where, like, they could pretty much do anything they want. Like, Freddy was, like, cursing. He
Yeah.
was, like, talking about his fucking penis. He probably flashed his penis.
I didn't realize he was so naughty.
Robert Englund is a naughty boy.
He's a naughty boy. But yeah, that show was
But it's not good.
anthological also. And it follows people from Springfield, Ohio, which is apparently where the Nightmare on Elm Street movies take place.
Sounds right.
And the only Freddy involved really is, like Morgan was saying, like talking, and he introduces the episodes. Kind of like in the show.
Like, hey everybody, it's Freddy, and tonight I'm gonna slice up some entertainment for you.
You sounded
Not like Freddy Krueger.
you sounded like Krusty the Krab. No, not Krusty the Krab. Krusty the Clown.
I was gonna say yes.
And
Krusty's voice is so much lower.
And Marge's
I want to be
sisters.
Sideshow Bob.
Well, you're not Kelsey Grammer.
I definitely sound like
You
Marge's
sound like
sisters.
Marge's sisters. If you just had a more ragged voice. So
Totally.
then we get to 1989, Tales from the Crypt, which also has a weird... The dude's voice, he's always like, hey, everybody. He was
the scary,
ugliest
dude.
looking
I
thing
hated
ever.
him. I didn't really like that show.
No, it was also just hosted by him, and he'd be like,
Yeah, he'd be like,
I was watching just some intros just to get a little flavor, because I remember watching it when I was younger, but
Yeah.
I wanted to...
Because it always came on like right when we got home from school.
Yeah, it did. It was like Wishbone and then that. But what was I going to say? Oh, like every little starter is like a prelude to what's going to happen in the episode. And there's one where he starts out and he's just going, and he is like lifting like dumbbells, but not dumbbells. They're bones with skulls on the end.
Yes, that's so metal.
It's so
fucking love it.
it's so crazy. He was insane.
He's
He also had
wild.
like he also had a animated TV show
Yeah.
that I think was
I feel like Tales of the
a
Crypt had
little
like
more-
spin-offs.
it did, and I think it probably had a movie. All of this shit had movies and other shit.
Right?
So in the 90s or like mid 80s to 90s, there were these like mild horror shows, which like were mostly kid friendly, I think. Because, we got Beetlejuice, which was animated, the Ghostbusters animated series, the Addams Family, then we got like Goosebumps.
Wait, Goosebumps started in the 80s?
90s.
Yeah,
I said
90s.
80s and 90s.
Oh, yeah. Goose freaking bumps.
Yeah. Arf, arf,
Oh my god, I
arf, arf.
loved Goosebumps.
The theme
The
is the
theme
best.
song, it slaps so fucking hard.
Yeah, with the
With the
dog
guy
barking.
and the briefcase and everything falls out, and we all know that that's supposed to be R.L. Stein.
Yeah, totally. Ugh. All real monsters. I
The
thought
mummy
was
or
scary.
the ones with the marionette dolls. Those were the
dummy ones?
Yeah, the dummy ones were the scariest
What
ones.
was his name? He had
Slappy.
yeah,
And he was,
Slappy was
so
creepy.
scary. I remember watching that at Nana and Granddad's house, and then I had to go sleep on a recliner chair in their room because I was so fucking scared.
I can't believe that those used to like scare me so much.
Oh my god, they scared. Well, I don't like dolls. Like, I've never really liked dolls.
No, you're not a doll kid. Those American Girl dolls were really pushed onto you. You never really asked for one.
No.
There was
Sounds
also,
so privileged. I want my American Girl dolls.
I don't know if you ever saw this show, but it was called Erie, Indiana. And it had this kid named Marshall who was from New Jersey.
Did he live in Erie,
Erie,
Indiana?
Indiana.
Is that a real town?
No.
It'd be cool
Erie
if it was.
with two E's.
Of course, always.
I mean,
Oh,
I
right,
don't
like the
even-
Lake Erie.
which Indiana is nowhere by. But
No.
the kid, the main kid in it is Max from Hocus Pocus. It's cute. He starts out the very first episode saying, if you find this letter, I'm either dead or I've disappeared. And he starts out every single episode adding onto that letter.
Oh, cool.
And in one of the episodes...
That sounds kind of cool, actually. Is it on YouTube?
Where did I find this?
Because all of Goosebumps is on
I
Netflix,
believe it's on
right?
A lot of them are.
Or
a lot
maybe
of
it's
them are.
Hulu.
They have collections. The Vampire Show I found on YouTube. Alfred Hitchcock Presents I found on YouTube. The Twilight Zone, that's for the most part.
All
they have
on
a lot of
Netflix.
it on Netflix. Yeah. I didn't really look for Addams Family Monsters.
The Freddy Show.
Just look it up on YouTube.
Dude, that
honestly.
shit is probably isn't it?
So offensive. I think it was Prime. And yeah, it's just a very bizarre show. Like, the first episode is...
Which one? The eerie one?
Mm-hmm. The mom, because they just moved there. I was like, is this the first episode of the show? Because I feel like there's a lot of things that I'm missing out on.
People are always moving to places right when shit starts.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
And they're like, and he's like, no one else in my town thinks this town is weird. And he like has a bike route and he like goes by this
I'd
dude's
love this
house.
show.
We should maybe you'll start watching and be like, no.
Maybe.
He has like an Elvis impersonator as one of his neighbors. But anyways, the mom gets invited to a Tupperware party. Ooh. But the kicker is that these moms put their kids in the Tupperware because there's these twin boys that come over to the house, and one of them like shakes Marshall's hand goodbye and writes him a note, and he says, look in yearbook 1964. And it turns out that the kids should be like 30 years old, but yeah. And she like gives him a bologna sandwich from like the 70s, and they're like, we're good. It's in this, it's Tupperware parties, man. It's a cult.
Interesting. Okay, work.
It's literally like multi-level marketing. Yeah. And then Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Well, Are You Afraid of the Dark was like the epitome of childhood horror TV shows.
What was the scariest episode to you?
Honestly, I can't really
remember specifics.
No.
Want me to jog your memory a little bit?
Sure.
Do you remember the one with Melissa Joan Hart?
No.
It was her and her brother, and they were staying at this place, and there was this little boy who kept going, I'm cold.
Oh, wait, yes, I do remember that.
I had a feeling I'm cold.
Oh, my God, I remembered that. It came flooding back.
Which I think was a ghost of a little boy who probably, like, died outside in the cold, and they had to, like, show him the light. I don't know. I also remember one with a crazy clown, like, nose.
Yeah. There's one with Brad Pitt.
There is one with Brad Pitt. There's also one with
Ryan Gosling.
Yes, yeah. That was the one. And then the another one I remember is these two kids get sent away to a boarding school where like everybody, like all the kids are like lizards. That one was weird.
What about So Weird?
Oh yes, So Weird.
That is all on Disney Plus now for anyone who is as fucking obsessed with that show as I was.
Yeah, I remember thinking the brother was super hot, or maybe it was the brother's friend.
It's because it's the guy from Brink. Mm-hmm. It's both of the guys from Brink, actually.
Oh yeah,
both
Brink
guys
Bros.
from Brink, which is also on Disney Plus, are in that. And yeah, the brunette one is her brother, and then the blonde one is like their roadie. I honestly don't remember.
The friend whose parents don't care.
Yeah,
they're teenagers.
Never around.
And the sister is like, that's so weird. And she was in the
wasn't it like
You're Invited, Mary Kate and Ashley sleepover.
Is it like she can talk to ghosts, right?
I think so. She has some sort of like
supernatural, like she can sense when things have happened in places, and then she can like, I don't know, speak truth on it or something. She's basically like a medium, I guess.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Just weird stuff. So weird stuff happens.
So weird.
So we get into the 90s, and it's fucking Twin Peaks, baby.
Ooh, yes.
This show was crazy. I remember watching it with Dad when it first came out, and I was probably like 2 or 3. And I remember being
this is
like,
why we are this way.
What is this fucking show?
Because it's so weird.
For those who haven't seen
Speaking of so weird.
So weird.
So weird isn't even that weird compared to Twin Peaks.
Oh, not even close. And Twin Peaks is like scary, like legitimately scary. It's about Agent Dale Cooper, aka
I'd love to
Kyle
start
MacLachlan.
that.
We fucking should.
You
It is
want to?
so good. Yes,
Let's.
The
We
characters.
need a good show to get into. We haven't really been watching anything.
The only problem with Twin Peaks, although now they have the Showtime series.
Were you gonna say that it ends on a huge cliffhanger?
Yes.
Yeah, that would really bother me.
It ends on probably one of the biggest cliffhangers in the entire world. So the whole premise of the show,
I've not watched it all.
It starts with they find a dead girl, and it's who killed Laura Palmer.
Yeah.
And so there's this crazy scene in one episode where Dale, like, I don't know, you have to watch it, Morgan. It's
Let's
David,
do it.
It's David Lynch. So
Yeah,
it's very
I'm really
David
down,
Lynchian.
actually.
And so it's very weird. He goes to this weird, like, forest, and he's in this place with the coolest, like, red and black and white chevron aesthetic. And he sees Laura there, and they're all talking backwards, and it's very weird. And she says, "I'll see you in 25 years." And that's when they tried to make the reboot happen. I haven't even watched that.
Kyle MacLachlan is like
In that, Morgan, oh my god,
oh yummy,
Morgan, he's so yummy.
He's so cute in Sex and the City.
And you will love Bobby. He's very hot.
Okay,
It's very good.
Love that.
I like it. So Morgan and I are probably going to watch like 10,000 different shows after we
I know.
get done. That is all on Netflix.
Didn't
the new one's
didn't
on
that come
Showtime.
out pretty close to when the X-Files started?
Yeah,
Not so much.
2 years. The X-Files started in 1993. And that show was fucking scary.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't even want to watch it when I was
And the
young, so I'm like,
fandom
it's
for
too
that
scary.
show is insane.
It is. They show so much love for Scully and Mulder.
Oh my
I mean,
God.
it's a great show. It's with,
Yeah, David Duchovny would
Yummy.
get it.
He also.
Is that fucked up to say?
No. He's in Twin Peaks, and he is in drag in that show.
Love that. And he's in Sex and the City too, I think. He is. He dates Carrie.
Wait, when were we talking about Sex in the City?
We were talking about Kyle MacLachlan.
Oh, right, Doy. Oh, I love Kyle MacLachlan.
I love Sex and the City.
So I thought I would look up some of the scariest episodes of the X-Files because it was so scary. And there's one called Home, and it's in season 4, and it's basically if Scully and Mulder were in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Ooh. And it's apparently very, very controversial for being very gory.
Okay.
Yeah.
We should watch it. I know I'm saying that about everything.
I know. After I mentioned the next one that came out, you're definitely going to watch it because 1997, Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Oh my God. Well, I've obviously watched so much Buffy. I have always been madly in love with Sarah Michelle Gellar. I don't know if I said that enough in the last episode, by the way.
Oh, right. No.
I love Sarah fucking Michelle Gellar so much, and I always have.
She holds up.
Oh my God, she's the boss.
Like the grudge.
She's quite a scream queen. Totally. I mean, she's Buffy.
She's fucking Buffy.
She's fucking Buffy Summers.
Joss Whedon. All hail. This came out in 1997, but it is based on the 1992 film Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Which doesn't slap quite as hard.
I like it though because Luke Perry's hot and Christy Swanson is yummy.
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
I forgot he's in that.
Yeah,
I mean, I love the movie, but it's not the show.
It also has such a big fan following. I mean, you got Seth Green.
Oh my
You
God.
got David Borealis.
You got Willow.
You got fucking Willow. You have
Allison. What's her name?
Allison Hannigan.
Yes.
And
Michelle Trachtenberg, who just came in to be a little fucking bitch.
Yeah.
Her character
I stopped
sucked. And
watching around then.
oh yeah. Well, I mean, I watched some of it.
There was the
I
musical
restarted
episode.
it. Yeah, I restarted it recently and didn't finish, but got really I got into season 3. I think I love it.
It's a great show. The vampires on that show, I will say,
love their eyes.
They look like the Klingons from they have.
It's
very facial heavy prosthetics.
Mm-hmm. But only when they're pissed, because Spike was Norm's, but if he was pissed, then he was all
I just remember their sex scene where he was invisible.
Oh, Spike is a very controversial character because he raped Buffy in an episode.
No.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Wasn't
No, we don't
There was a big thing team Angel, team Spike, right?
Well, Angel also turns into a huge piece of fucking shit,
also
and then
a
Buffy
vampire?
has to kill him. Oh yeah, he's a vampire.
And he got a very successful spinoff that our dad loves.
Oh my gosh. Well, I think
we
Dad just
own
really
it.
likes him.
That's what
David
that was.
Boreanaz.
David Borealis. Yeah, no,
Borealis?
he does.
No, it's just Boreanaz.
I have no clue. I said
either.
Borealis, the Aurora Borealis. Yeah, no, because he loves bones.
But yeah, Buffy was great. I don't have much to say about Angel, though. Sorry.
Yeah, and then you got Charmed, 3 sisters who were witches.
I never really got into Charmed, but I'd like to because I
Rose McGowan.
love Rose McGowan.
I'm pretty sure one of their names were Holly.
Yeah, it was. Well, no, that actress's name is Holly,
Right.
and she was also in Pretty Little Liars. She was Arya's mom.
Hell yeah, love that. So, so now we're coming to kind of like
The
we're
2000s?
gearing up to the 2000s, but kind of like the golden age of TV, which is where we are now because there are such amazing
Because
television
TV
shows.
is better than it has ever been, obviously, because we
And-
also have Netflix and streaming services that are making all their own content. HBO, step their pussy up always.
Right. And like I feel like I don't want to say like it started with Breaking Bad. I think it started with fucking Dexter.
True Blood came before both of those. No?
Dexter came out in 2006, and True Blood started in 2008. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
So let's talk about Lil Dexy first. Dexter Morgan.
I remember when we got into Dexter, it was before. I mean, a lot of it had come out because we rented all of the seasons from
Family
Video.
Oh my god, yeah.
The first season's obviously the best.
The first season, the second season's pretty good, and then the fucking
Trinity
fifth season.
Killer season is
that was
amazing.
like actual like that one made me feel yucky. Like all of the stuff, like John Lithgow was just such a fucking creeper, and like everything in that is just like bam, 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 and then it went on to have one of the worst finales in the entire world. Well, once they made them start having a crush on each other, I was like, no. Like our Deb
because Deb
and
just lost all moral, like her whole moral compass, and was just
because she found out about Dexter.
I know,
and so she becomes a huge pothead.
Same.
And they're like, Deb, you're bad.
Deb is such like a Debbie Downer. Like
she really is. But like, who was his dad?
Oh yeah, that one actor who's in all of Quentin Tarantino's movies. I can't think of his name either.
Something Reamer. I don't know. But that guy.
We only saw him in flashbacks.
And David Carradine is also David Carradine. That's
who's the one guy?
The older guy who Deb
kills
dates?
in the second season. That's always mad at him and like finds him out.
The detective.
Wilkes. What's his name?
Oh, he's
Wilkes.
No, it's Detective.
We looked it up and it's Dokes.
Yep, Detective James Dokes.
Just that scene where he has
Morgan.
to like decide whether or not he wants to kill him is so crazy. And he obviously like does.
And like everyone thinks, I mean, like it's obviously not very realistic, but like the vigilante serial killer. These are based off of books, but the books and TV show are very different from one another.
Yeah.
There's also a comic. But, I mean, being a serial killer, but you've been taught to, like, only take it out on those deserving to die.
Really fucked up shit to really innocent, helpless people.
Because he still has, like a ritual that he does, but he's just tailored
the blood slides.
Oh, and, like, going to Kinko's and printing out, like, what do you think how much do you think Dexter spent?
What is he
going to
print out?
Kinko's? He always prints out like huge pictures of the people's victims. Oh. The attic is leaking. I'm sorry. That's what I was looking at. Oh, sure. I saw drips coming down. They were just little drippy droppies.
Yeah, Dexter. I mean, I know this is all I'm saying, but like Michael C. Hall is such a snack.
He's such a little daddy,
and he like beat cancer during the filming of the show.
Yeah, didn't even tell.
And got married and divorced to his sister.
Yeah, who was on the show?
Yeah, that
not in real life.
Weird.
He did not marry his sister.
Well, no, the Deb who plays his sister, they got married in real life and they got divorced. Deb is John Carpenter's daughter.
Yeah, which is crazy.
We maybe briefly spoke of her during the quarantine.
Because she was in the remake. Mm-hmm. So now 2008, we got True Blood.
True Blood. So True Blood, I remember when it first came out. Remember we thought it was going to be a Twilight TV show.
We did.
Yeah.
I didn't think so.
You told me that, yeah, because you were like, I think it's like going to be Twilight, and I was like, oh my god.
Probably because that was the only reference point of
when
vampires.
I actually watched it, I was like, this shit's fucking crazy. True Blood takes place, well, it's based on the books as well, but honestly,
the Sookie Stackhouse Diaries. Or something?
It's called like the Sookie Stackhouse books
Chronicles.
Yeah. So it's about Sookie and Bill. Sookie. And then, of course, we have Alexander Skarsgård as Eric, the king.
Are they like all... Well, Sookie's a fairy?
Yeah, but you don't find that out until, like, season 3. She's a fae, and that's why she can read minds. And
Cool.
Also why her blood tastes so good to vampires.
Yeah, because, like, in
True Blood, vampire blood is a drug, and they call it V, and it's basically like every drug mixed together.
So how
Because
does
it gives you
someone
heroin-like
become...
effects, but it also gives you, like, Molly-like effects. It also gives you, like, acid-like effects. It does a lot.
That sounds like a fish concept.
And also, the vampire blood can, like, heal all.
Okay, that's vampire blood. And
V
vampires...
is also vampire blood. So, like, if you have to take vampire blood to, like, heal yourself, you gonna be fucked up for a while.
So what if vampires drink vampire blood? Is it just like nothing?
They don't want to.
How do they get their...
They drink True Blood, which is like a synthetic... in the show, it's a synthetic blood-like thing that I think they have made in Japan. But most of the vampires in the show still eat people. Or like Bill just like drinks from Sookie because she's like down with it, and like they do it while they're fucking.
So how do you become a vampire then?
Okay, so you have to drain someone to basically death. Then makers are a big thing because you're very like tied to your maker, and you have to do everything your maker says physically. Like you can't disobey your maker, and they just have to. They bury themselves in there with you, and then you sleep together, and then you wake up, and then the person's a vampire.
That is quite the process. Mm-hmm. It's kind of a long process.
So it's kind of like I think it's similar, not that like we have to talk about Twilight, but it's similar like to in Twilight where like people will do it to people who are dying. Kind of thing,
so
because like Bill was dying of one of the like
Spanish flu, probably.
I think so, yeah.
So was
I
Edward.
think he literally was. Yeah.
Probably.
Oh, maybe I'm thinking of Edward.
Oh, what if it was
well, because
probably
Bill was from
the
like
epidemic.
the Civil War.
Oh, well then that was the Spanish influenza. That would be that.
So, yeah. But anyways,
I'm not a history.
Yeah, True Blood. But True Blood also then turns into, like, first season it's very much so about vampires, but then the second season's about something totally different, and, like, I don't even want to ruin that if no one's ever seen the second season, because it's basically about this lady who is, like, the devil.
Isn't there, like, some... Because it takes place in Louisiana, right?
Yeah, it takes place in Bon Ton, Louisiana.
And so there's some voodoo elements to it?
Yes. There's like a little bit of voodoo in the first season. There's really not much, honestly. But they get into werewolves.
Oh, yeah.
They get super into werewolves. They get into witches in one season, too. And the woman who plays... she's really well known. The woman who plays Aunt Petunia in Harry Potter is the bad woman, and that season's fucking crazy, actually. That shit's wild. But yeah, the show is so much better than the books.
Have you read the books?
Yeah, I read one of the books, and then it got stolen from me. I remember.
Oh my
God. I left it at, someone stole it from me like a pepper alley in high school.
That's so rude. I have the first 2 Dexter books, just haven't gotten a chance to read them yet.
Like, in true, like, Lafayette dies in like the first book, which is like Lafayette's like one of the best characters in the entire show. I love him. So fucking funny. And Tara's not even in the books at all.
Really?
Yeah.
Tara's mom
has gone on to do a lot.
Yeah, she's on American Horror Story.
Yes. Is that what we're getting to next?
No. Well, soon. So
okay.
There's also the Vampire Diaries that came out. It's like the sexy teen
that came out
version of horror
at the same
stuff.
time as true, but that makes sense. Yeah, I guess all of the vampire stuff kind of happened at once.
Now, 2010, one of the shows with the biggest cult fan base ever, The Walking Dead.
Ooh, yes.
People are
that's when it moved from vampires to zombies.
Very zombie heavy.
That was a very big feeling that we all felt the shift.
Yeah, that was a big cultural shift in our lives where we went from vampires and zombies.
But most of the
stuff.
movies that were made about, not that we're talking about movies to go off on a little tangent, but all of the movies at that time that were made about zombies were all like parodies, like Zombieland.
No, there were some ones out there that were really
Warm
trying to be
Bodies.
something.
Oh, okay. No one remembers them.
I watched some bad ones. The man I was dating at the time had to watch like every single movie that
About
ever came
zombies?
out. No, just any movie ever. And so we watched a lot of them. But that is here nor there.
Right.
So yeah, The Walking Dead. Fucking zombies.
So crazy.
Morgan and I think maybe have talked about it a little. Oh, we talked about it a little on the vampire episode.
On the zombie episode.
But we said we couldn't talk much about it because we haven't seen it. We have seen the first season now.
And some of the second.
It's very good.
It's super good.
I forget all their names, and it's slow. And some of it's sad. And it's a little gross.
You forget all of their names?
I always forget their names.
All right, well.
Like, I forget Daryl. I call the kid Daryl. I call everyone
Yeah,
Daryl.
You were kind of calling everybody Daryl. You're like,
calling
is that
everyone
Daryl? And I was like, no.
You're like, that's the mom.
Yeah, right. No, that's the old lady.
So then, y'all, we got 2011 American Horror Story. And this is what I think is the most, like, it is literally horror movie violence.
Oh my god!
On a TV
it's
show.
I have full goosebumps right now just talking about it.
I remember
Murder House
first
is
season.
like one of the best seasons of any television series fucking ever.
And the show is actually scary and gives you like an actual visceral horror reaction. I mean, Morgan has goosebumpies right now just thinking of the show.
I wonder if these are separate, but
who knows? I had like fucking
hives. We don't have to get into it.
We don't have to get into it, but
But
that was
American
scary.
Horror Story season 1, Murder House was obviously
Tate. It's everyone. Well, yeah. I mean, this happened literally.
such
9
a long
years
time
ago.
ago. Yeah. Wait, when did it come out?
9 years ago.
2009?
2011.
Yeah.
So the first season is
And
about
I didn't
haunted
get
house.
into it until the first 2 had already come out, and then when I
Same.
saw the theme of the third one, I was like, okay, I'm gonna fucking watch this show because I love witches.
Yeah, the third-
and the commercials looked so crazy.
Yeah.
And I thought that I would need to know what was going on, but it's an anthology, so I really didn't. But I am glad that I binge watched the first 2 because they were on Netflix at the time.
Yes. And they all are on Netflix actually. But yeah, that show just really like.
It's kind of crazy thinking of a time when there wasn't a million seasons of it, because now I mean, they're about to start season 10.
I don't even. What's the new
And it's
season
been
gonna
signed
be
on
about?
for at least 3 more seasons.
I did
don't
not
know.
watch the last season.
I couldn't. I tried. The first episode was okay, but then it just got so fucking weird.
It just got too convoluted because it all takes place on the same
And that happens a
night.
lot. Like, all of the seasons start out so good, and then there's usually like
And they
a
pepper
very
off a little bit. Yeah. Like, was Apocalypse the one before that?
yeah.
See, Cult for me is one of the other.
Cult was really
Cult
good.
was good all the way through. I thought,
Cult
to me.
was really good. Roanoke was fucking not good.
I didn't like Roanoke.
No.
At all. I did not like
but
Roanoke.
I did watch all of it.
Hotel was great.
Hotel was pretty good.
It
I mean,
was
Hotel had
pretty
fucking
good.
Gaga.
It had Gaga. So.
And also, Hotel was when there was a pretty big like shift in like a lot of like newer people coming into the show.
Lots of newer people, yes.
Like a lot of like new zaddies that all look exactly the same.
Yeah, and
Ryan Murphy has a type when it comes to tall, dark, and handsome men.
Yeah.
Evan Peters is like not anything like that.
No.
He's like the not the
He's like-
antithesis of that, but
I mean,
he's just
not really that.
No.
Because literally, Darren Criss, even though he's biracial, Darren Criss, Wes Bentley,
Matt
Bomer,
Bomer,
that other guy they have.
Finn Whitrock.
Yeah, that one.
Honestly, what's the daddy from season 1? Who's also in Hollywood? Dylan McDermott.
Dylan McDermott.
I mean, they all are just like tall, dark daddies.
They all look the same. Didn't really like the 4th season. Freak Show.
That's a yeah. No, I did. I liked Freak Show. Freak Show ends really. Freak Show has like a bad lull, but then it picks back up and gets really good when Neil Patrick Harris comes in.
Oh,
then
yeah.
it gets weird and it gets good.
And that one's very like
I just
the
didn't like
movie
Bet and
Freaks.
Dot. Like, I really didn't like them.
I really
and I
didn't like
love
them.
Sarah Paulson.
And you'd think you'd love her twice as
Right, but I
much.
hated them.
Did not like that
Hated
character.
them.
Wasn't a huge fan of
We just have to
her
take a second
singing.
to talk about Jessica Lange.
Oh yeah,
And how fucking iconic she was. I mean, she won 2 Emmys, one for season 1 and one for season 3.
her as what's her name? Cadence in the first one.
Constance.
Her in the first one is just so like southern bitchy, and then in the second one she's like bitchy nun, and then in the third one she's
season's
like
so
bitchy
good.
witch.
The
And
first
fourth
3
one,
seasons are just fucking phenomenal,
They go.
and then they just start getting a little less good.
They
but
start
they're
to
all watchable.
They all start to Evan Peter off.
Yeah, I love.
Because
Evan
honestly,
Peters.
I get
Normal People Scare Me.
yeah.
That shit's iconic.
Oh, the music. The first season had like the music from Insidious. It had that.
Which I just watched.
That one was scary. The school shooting episode is really,
It's
fucked,
really
up.
fucked up.
They all are known. They all have like really cool Halloween episodes.
Bet you never thought you'd see the. I bet you thought you'd seen the last of me, bitch. Or
Oh yeah,
bet you thought you'd never see me again, bitch.
surprise, bitch.
Yes, surprise, bitch.
It's literally just surprise, bitch. Yeah, that's iconic. The everything in Coven, like
Coven
all,
is iconic.
all of Emma Roberts' dialogue is just so perfect. Like everything they say to one another is just so like
Quippy.
ridiculous. It's like almost like Heather's in tone wise.
So much.
Because it's kind of like they're talking like almost differently than we talk, but like I don't know. I loved it though.
Loved it.
I love it. I love American Horror Story.
I love it.
I didn't watch what's the new season supposed to be about though?
I honestly don't know. I don't know if he's totally. I don't think he's totally dropped it. I think there's just been like light teasers. He's dropped like the cast or like who's coming back.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's dropped the theme yet.
I think he should.
I could be wrong, though.
I want him to get more. I mean, he makes so many shows now. Like he has that Hollywood
yeah.
show, which is just about.
Which I was glad he finally got a Netflix show so he can do whatever the fuck he wants because he should be able to do whatever the fuck he wants.
Oh, and he does with
Yeah, I
that
know.
show.
Yeah.
It's good if you're horny and like mad old men.
Yeah.
If you like watching Jim Parsons be a
fucking
fucking
dick.
weirdo and dick, yeah,
Yeah, but he plays that shit good.
he does.
He should win something for that, but
He yeah, who knows? We'll see.
Right.
So then we got Black Mirror, which started originally in 2011 because it was first aired in the
season's
UK
fucking weird.
on Channel 4. Yeah, that was the one that was in the UK, and then Netflix picked it up in 2016, and it is a modern kind of Twilight Zone because they all the episodes take place in a not so distant dystopian future, and it's all very electronic.
Well, yeah, because the Black Mirror, they're talking about like your phone screen, your computer screen, your TV screen when it's off. It's a Black Mirror.
Yeah, because you see, and like you check your hair in it at school or something. But yeah, I remember, I think the first episode I watched was the Bryce Dallas Howard one. Some of them aren't like super duper. That's
I think
the one,
that was the first one I watched too. But
because
I
that was
also
the-
I watched the very first episode first, maybe.
I watched it weird because I didn't understand that
Well,
there
you
was
can
like
watch
the
it any way
British.
you want.
Yeah, you really can. I don't know. Some of the
I
really
really
scary
like the
episodes.
episode in the haunted house with I'm pretty
Oh,
sure
Kurt Russell's son,
Kurt Russell and Bonnie's son. Yeah.
Bonnie.
Yeah.
You mean Goldie?
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's Goldie's.
Yeah.
Goldie is his mom. He's gorgeous.
Babe.
He's a babe.
That
and
one's
looks
really good.
just
Obviously, the
like
one
his
with
daddy.
Miley is good just because the music that came out of that shit. Oh, honey, I'll do anything for you.
That one is super good. I'm trying to think of some of the older ones. Oh, they have so many popular actors. The dude from
Oh, yeah. Because you can
what's
get
his name?
someone to be in a TV show if they just have to be in it for,
An
an
episode.
episode because
Yeah.
that's easy to sign into, which is another reason that I think so many cool people come in and out of American Horror Story because it's kind of the same thing. Like, I'm only just, like, I don't have to come back and do this again.
Yeah, you're only signing a contract, presumably for one season.
Because that's why a lot of like big Hollywood people who do like all of like the Avenger movies can't do TV because they're locked into all of these
Those
Avengers things.
They're probably doing that shit like 24/7. I think one of my favorite episodes of Black Mirror. I'm trying to think. There's so many good ones. I mean, I do really love Bandersnatch, even though it's a movie.
Yeah, Bandersnatch was cool. Bandersnatch was more of like a.
It was interactive, which was super cool.
Yeah, I didn't love it.
Yeah, I think I've talked about Bandersnatch enough on here, but there's an episode that has the dude from Get Out in it. It's like the running one.
Oh yeah, that one's good.
That one's really good.
Because that came out before Get Out came out, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. And I think
yeah,
that's how
I've
he
definitely
saw.
seen that episode. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think that's what made him want to put him
Jordan
in Get Out.
Peele. Yeah,
Which is awesome.
totally. Okay, so all in 2013, we got Bates Motel, Hannibal, and Hemlock Grove.
Have you ever watched Bates Motel?
I watched the first episode.
The first
part of the
episode's
first episode
crazy.
with you.
Ooh, but I want to.
I know it has a
wanna
big cult
slide
following.
right into Hemlock Grove.
Yeah, I know people love Hannibal. I love Hannibal Lecter too.
I've never really
but
watched
I've never
Hannibal.
watched the TV show.
How many seasons does it have? Do we know?
Couldn't tell you. I don't know if it's still on right now, but if it is, good for Hannibal.
I don't think it is. But Hemlock Grove was one of only the first 3 Netflix original series.
Yes.
It was like House of Cards, Hemlock Grove, and something else. And I remember because I was in college and film school when it happened. And I remember we were all like, holy fuck, Eli Roth is putting out a whole TV fucking series. And then we can watch the whole goddamn thing. It was like...
Yeah, we take for granted every single episode coming out at once is honestly
so
a
good.
gift.
And Hemlock Grove, while it got very strange at the end of season 2 and all of season 3 because there's some incest, it's really good. The first season's so amazing. A lot of the episodes were directed by Eli Roth, so they're very good.
Are they vampires?
Kind of. They're more like succubuses.
I thought that was just a word for a vampire, but the kind that fuck girls.
But they're not vampires at all in the traditional sense.
Cool, love that.
But there's also werewolves.
And they're also a Skarsgård.
I think there's witches too. Billy Boy. That is where I first discovered Bill Skarsgård. Because I remember me and Sam Holden, shout out my sis. She was one of the only people I knew who loved True Blood as much as me. And then when we found out that Alexander's hottie brother was going to be in this show, we were literally panting.
He's so good
panty
looking.
dropping, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, this is where he got his big start, I would say.
But honestly, not that many people even really know about Hemlock Grove. I feel like...
I mean, I guess I only do because of you, but yeah, I everybody go watch Hemlock Grove.
It's so good, and it's all on Netflix, and the first season's fucking good, and the second season's weird but good.
Yeah. In 2014, the True Detective started, and I mean that's it's a little true crimey, but it's also
it's horrific.
It's kind of just like a television show. It kind of is like Silence of the Lambsy because it's two detectives, and the first season with Matthew McConaughey is really fucking good.
The third season
and
is
the third
really
season's
good.
really good. The second season not so
finish
much.
it.
Yes.
That's what I'll do. I keep saying that about everything we're saying, but let's start True Detective season 3.
I thought we started already.
Okay, well then let's continue it. I would need to rewatch.
I was down with about 20 minutes ago with Twin Peaks, but
I'm down with that too.
Okay, so in 2015, both Scream, the TV show, and Scream Queens came out.
Ooh, Scream, the TV show. I actually kind of loved it. It recently, so I watched all of the original cast, the first, I think, 3 seasons, but then the new season that just recently came out, it's a whole different group of people, and I haven't seen it. But
is it like a
really good
Degrassi situation where they come back with
I don't know,
new
'cause I haven't watched
generation?
any of it, but it's really good. It has very Friday the 13th vibes in some ways as well, and it's not really that much like Scream, other than the fact that the killer calls and has the same voice.
And I think Scream, I feel like
the mask is totally different, and people didn't love that. But
I didn't like that. I think also Teen Wolf also came out.
Oh yeah, Teen Wolf would have had
these
to
are
come
both
out around
MTV.
that time too. Teen Wolf
these
is
are both
good.
MTV shows.
Yeah,
and then Scream
that's when
Queens,
MTV started doing actual shows. But Teen Wolf definitely came out before Scream the TV show.
Okay, yeah, I forgot to mention that one.
That's
in
okay.
there. And then Scream Queens
slaps.
was pretty decent.
First season was really
wasn't a
good,
big
and then it was just so bad the second season, and just it did not continue. The second season's so bad, I can't even really.
But again, Emma Roberts.
Oh yeah, Emma's gold
Amazing
in that show. She was fucking. I mean, the first season's really good, but then it's just so bad in the second season.
Really?
That it almost Oh my god,
Unwatchable.
completely.
Is Jamie Lee Curtis is in the first season, right?
I think she's in the second season actually too.
Cool. I mean, I wouldn't know.
But yeah, the cast is really good in the first season, so like it's a good.
All right, so now we're in the year 2016, and we got the show Lucifer.
Never seen it.
Which is based off a DC comic. And it's Satan comes to Earth. He owns a nightclub, and he helps homicide detectives solve crime.
Okay.
Like, he got bored being Satan and decided to help people?
Is it comedic, or is it, like, seriously scary?
I'm sure there's some gaffes and laughs in there more.
Right.
It sounds like Suits with Satan.
Yeah.
But the best show, probably one of the biggest things to ever hit Netflix, and definitely the biggest thing to ever hit 2016, except a lot of fucking shit happened in 2016, Stranger Things.
Oh my gosh. I thought you were going to come in with another sound. Yeah, no, seriously. Stranger Things is so fucking good.
I remember watching the first episode and being like, oh my god, because I feel like
it instantly
for me,
took the
a
fuck
lot
off.
of the. I feel like I see a lot of these shows before a lot of other people do.
Well, that's because you're constantly watching stuff.
That is
Whereas
true.
other people are doing other things.
But like specifically, I remember.
Yeah, you were definitely the first person to talk about Stranger Things. To me.
Yeah, because then I got you into it, and I mean, it was just so cool because it was take place, in the Midwest, which really speaks to me.
Hawkins,
it was,
Indiana,
and like it just plays to so. It's just there's so much like Stephen King influences in
definitely.
it. So many like The Thing. There's the Demogorgons, and the kids are super into Dungeons and Dragons, and they're just such lovable characters.
And it's just so like I love like the 80s like time period.
Yeah, the second season was good, but I loved this third season.
And I was so happy that Winona got to come back and show us that she's not just a shoplifter.
She's not just a shoplifter. She can just stand there and hold Christmas lights and be like, my son. Hooper.
Who we know is alive because the teaser came out for season 4 and y'all, he alive.
Well, yeah, because like I said, it's Stranger Things. It's a great show, but it's not a complex show. And so they're not going to have just someone else. It's got to be Hooper. Plus, I'm pretty sure I saw him listed.
He's definitely going to be in it.
But, the third season just played off of so many 80s things because that one takes place in 1984 and so much fucking shit happened in 1984. All right, so what I'm going to get into next is called Into the Dark, and it started in 2018, 2019-ish, and they are feature-length films, but it's technically like a Hulu series, and it's made by Blumhouse, a.k.a. Jason Blum, who made Get Out, Paranormal Activity, Insidious, Us, The Purge, the new Halloween
He's
movie.
got some good stuff.
A lot of stuff. And he's
got a lot of money.
Yes. Each month, Hulu releases a horror movie, and it's usually related to that month. I.e., we've been laying a lot of mulch. I.e., there's this movie, New Year, New You, which is obviously on for New Year's Eve, and it stars Darlene from Mr. Robot.
Oh, cool.
The best one, in my opinion, is called I'm Just Fucking With You, and it's for April Fool's Day.
That's a movie. Those are movies, though.
But they're movies, but it's a TV thing. They're considered TV things. It's kind of like Black Mirror.
Okay.
And then their March one this year was called Crawlers for St. Patrick's Day.
Crawlers?
Like bar crawl.
Whoa. Love that.
They have Pilgrim for Thanksgiving. Another really fucking good one is Culture Shock. And that's for Independence Day. Some of them are really good, some of them aren't. But you know what? A lot
What's
of
the
them
worst one?
are very funny. In my opinion, I really, really didn't care for. Oh, there's one called School Spirit, which is like going back to school. It's the dumbest one. But a lot of them did really, really badly rating-wise. And like the one that did the worst is called like the Treehouse. And I loved that one. I thought it was very funny.
Who gives a shit about ratings?
Exactly. If you like it, you like it. And then lots of little Stephen King things started popping up.
Yeah.
Like TV shows, like the one Castle Rock.
Castle Rock is also anthology.
Is there a new season? So each season is an anthology.
Yeah, so the first season was about, again, yummy Bill Skarsgård.
And he is like got dark contacts.
He's like Satan. But I just know the new season is the girl who was in True Blood, but also the one who plays what's her name in Mean Girls?
Oh. What is it?
The friend.
The friend.
Damien's friend. Why can't I think of her name?
Oh, I know what you mean.
What's her name?
I can't think of her name. Oh, it's like...
You know.
Yeah, she's...
Shave your mom's chest hair!
Yeah, we all know who she is. Look,
I know, I feel bad, but she's in it, and I've heard it's good. I haven't watched it, but I've heard it's good.
Tippity tip top of my head.
Maria.
They also did The Dark Tower, which is based off of... Although I don't know
yeah.
if that might be a movie, but I thought it was a TV show, but I don't know.
I think it's a movie.
And then most recently for Stephen King was Outlander, which was
it's called The Outsider. I just told you it's not Outlander.
There is a show called Outlander.
Outsider, which just came on HBO, was so fucking crazy and so fucking good. But you can't go over the haunting of motherfucking Hill House.
That movie.
For a second, we were almost going to make this episode of the podcast a Patrick Flanagan. The guy who made that. Mm-hmm. We were almost going to go do all of his movies and stuff, but then we decided to do this instead. Full Flanny. Oh my God. Haunting of Hill House was, everyone was obsessed with it. It was one of the... Netflix has this, really amazing way of,
algorithm?
Well, yes, but also they have such polarizing things that, everyone will be, binging right when it comes out, and everyone's talking about it. And it's really smart.
Huge sensations. The Bird Box.
Yeah, and now no one gives a shit about it.
No.
You know? But, when Haunting of Hill House came out, I was, so horny for it because I knew it was going to,
It was just so scary. Because,
I do remember
every
when
scene,
there was
the ghost or, the statue. It's just... So if you haven't seen it, it's this big-ass house, and it goes back and forth between time periods.
2 different time periods,
These kids,
family.
This family of kids to when they're younger and when they're older. And all this weird shit that happened to them in the house, and now all this weird shit is happening to them
again
later on in their lives.
And, what was I going to say?
Oh, and the little boy from E.T., Henry Thomas, is in it as the dad.
It was just really well done, and especially the episode where it, I love shows with container episodes.
Yes.
And they have the container episode when they all meet up in the funeral home.
And there's just people sitting in the background, and you literally don't even notice because you're watching it, and then you'll catch it at the very end, and then you'll rewatch that scene, and you'll be like, oh my God, there is a dead person just standing there for that whole scene.
I do remember when it first came out, what made me watch it was because
they were called bottle
everywhere
episodes.
on Facebook, it was called, maybe that's what it's called, yeah. Everywhere on Facebook was this show is so scary, it's making people pass out.
Oh, yeah,
and
that was the big thing.
It ain't that scary. It's scary, but it ain't that scary.
It was all because of that one part with, it's just a huge Nell jump scare.
Oh, there's just big jump scare. There's a lot. It's not just that one. There's a lot.
But that was the biggest one. It got a big guttural.
Oh no, yeah, that was probably the biggest one. You're right.
That was the big, and that because everybody was talking about everyone's passing out over the biggest scare of The Haunting of Hill House.
Yeah, but it was so good, and it's also going to be anthology because the next season has been at least in development. But
is it going to be another haunted hill or
it's
another
called The Haunting
hill?
of something
haunted
else?
House on a Hill? The Haunting of the Titanic?
No.
The Haunting of is our McDonald's here?
No.
Oh.
But what came in 2019? Anything really?
We got some stuff. There's that Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, which is the new Sabrina the Teenage Witch show, but it's sexy.
It seems weird. There's this show on, I think it's just on YouTube, but it's Katya and Trixie Mattel, two drag queens, really and they will just watch along with the show, but commentate, and it seems fucking crazy just based on that I've seen.
Right. We also have Mindhunter. I put that in there. I guess it's kind of true crime, but it's
that's more true crime though.
I
wouldn't consider that
a couple decades back. Mystery Science Theater 3000. They did do horror movies, but it was mostly science fiction. Mm-hmm. Which I guess
that's
the
true.
movies we do kind of get into some science fiction-y, but.
It's all one of the same. It's all macabre, and that's why we're talking about it, because we're the Sisters Grimm podcast.
And Mystery Science Theater 3000 was started by Joel Hodgson, who was roommates with our dad. And
that has nothing to do with anything.
Yeah, Dad helped come up with the idea for Mystery Science Theater 3000 with Joel. He just decided not to do it.
Show.
They do horror movies. They talk. It's him and some robots that he made.
Humble brag, Hal.
It's Dad. I don't know him. The only time I met him,
I
I was
know
in
him.
utero. I was in Mom's stomach, and they had
Cute.
dinner. But yeah, check that out. They also have a remake of that with
Yeah.
like Jonah Ray and Patton Oswalt. And there's just all these great horror TV shows, and we have all of this fucking time on our hands, and so you can binge watch all of the programs we talked about, probably.
Maybe we'll make a list. Holly likes doing stuff like that.
And I ain't got nothing else to do, motherfuckers.
So look out for that list and look out for your girls on Instagram. We are the Sisters Grimm podcast. Look out for your girls individually on Instagram as Morgan D. Freeberg and Holly Cheeseburger.
Take your little finger and hit that subscribe button, baby. It takes barely any pressure.
Give us likes, give us reviews, because there's some mean ones that
Nice
come
ones.
up at the top that y'all can suck a big fatty.
Yeah, I know like the first rule of having a thing that can be commented on is don't read the comments, but sometimes it's hard.
Sometimes it's hard, and we love reading the nice ones.
Yeah, the nice ones are really nice. The mean ones, I'm like, hey, whoa.
Also, just to shout it out, we didn't actually plug any of these in the podcast, but we do currently have codes with Studio as always, and it's 15% off code Grimm. And we also, as we've been posting on our Instagram, Gaston Luga backpacks, another Swedish company that we're now working with. We also have a 15% off code with them, which is also Grimm. So hit up both of those. I saw someone commented on our Instagram saying that they bought the same backpack that I have using our code.
Hell yeah.
I know. I was like, work it out, girl.
They're very, very nice. It's the
They're
nicest
very nice.
backpack
They
I've
are
ever
leather,
had.
so if you're a vegetarian, I get it. They are super
smell-
humanely cultivated, though. They're
And
a
if
very
you want a
humane
good
company in
smelling
general.
bag,
Oh, yeah, it smells good.
It smells really good. Also, we forgot to mention that last week was our 3-year anniversary.
Yeah, on the 17th?
I believe so.
Yeah.
On the 17th. 3 fucking years.
3 fucking years we've been doing this, and now we're up in our parents' attic doing it and doing it and
Where
doing
it
it well.
all started, baby. Where it all started.
We're all started. We'll be back next week, y'all.
Hopefully.